Let's see if I am going. This meeting is in live streaming. Got it. Okay, I think we're here. I think we are here. So yes, I think we're here. Okay, so hello, young living friends, and happy Tuesday. I hope everyone's doing amazing and having an awesome end of the month. I'm Carla de la Torre from the Leadership Development Team here in Canada, and I'm so happy it's my turn today to introduce an amazing leader for our Path to Silver call. But first of all, as you know, we're one day away from finishing the month of May, and I just want you to remember that you're all amazing and capable of reaching your goals. So whatever it is that you propose to accomplish for this month, you're still in time to work for it and obtain it. If you need any support, don't hesitate in reaching out to your upline, to your team, and of course to us in the Leadership Development Team. We're here to support you. And part of it is having these calls in which amazing leaders share with us about their journey here and what has worked for them towards their growth. And today is no exception, my friends. We're going to hear from Peggy Lee, who is originally from Hong Kong, but moved to Vancouver with her family, her husband, and 2 teenage boys back in 2018. She's a platinum leader, and I had the opportunity, the pleasure really, to meet her in person 2 months ago while we were sharing an awesome week visiting our Northern Lights farms up there in Fort Nelson, British Columbia. Oh my God, what a trip, I should tell you. And well, since then, it's been a pleasure for me to follow her journey, to see all the things she's been doing to share wellness with more and more people. And in fact, this is awesome to share. As of today, she's top 1 in our Kona Challenge for Canada, which is just great. And we're so excited for her. So way to go, Peggy. But anyway, let's hear it directly from her. So, dear Peggy, the time is yours. I leave you with Peggy Lee.
Okay, hello everyone. Can you hear and see me now? Thank you, Carla. My name is Peggy Lee and I'm from Vancouver, Canada. Nice to meet you all, and I really appreciate Carla for inviting me and for this special opportunity. And I feel super duper honored to be sharing at this Path to Silver call. And I'm a little bit nervous, but I'm very excited. And I thank you all for taking the time to show up here. So remember to tag your team to come and listen to us. Okay, I just want to know where you guys are from. Anyone from Canada? Hello, anyone from BC? Type in a comment and see where you guys are. All right. And we have Arizona. Hi, everyone. Awesome. Anyone from Canada? Georgia? Good. And I see my Vancouver teammates as well. Thank you for your support. Okay, before we start, well, we need to oil up, right? So let's see what I have today. Abundance. Abundance oil is one of my favorite and my lucky oils because I believe in all the positive energy that will attract all the goodness around me and around you guys, and to attract beautiful people like you today to come and, watch this Path to Silver call. And thanks again for joining us. I am diffusing abundance already. And then put on myself with Believe oil because I just need this. I need my Believe oils. And take a sniff of it because I know we got this, okay? And I want to put on my Valor oil because I need all the courage I have to be sharing with you all today. And know we can do this. And I hope here you can all feel the energy virtually, okay? Thank you so much. Okay, let me tell you all a bit about myself. I'm living in Vancouver, Canada right now with my very loving and supporting husband, Ken, and my 2 handsome teenager boys, Brendan, who's 18, and Aaron, who's 16. And I have my very furry Labradoodle, Brody, at the back here. He's usually pretty good. I hope he will stay calm. And he just turned 4 last week. Happy birthday to Brody. And I was born in Hong Kong, which is actually literally the other part of the world from is miles away from Vancouver. And it's still very early there. I think it's about 7 in the morning. And I hope my team in Hong Kong could also watch it, the replay later. Okay, so as Carla introduced me earlier before, my family immigrated to Toronto, Canada when I was 16. And then I finished my university degree there and I went back to Hong Kong for work. And there I met my husband, Ken, who is originally from Vancouver. And then 5 years ago in 2018, my family, we decided to move back to Vancouver. And now I see Vancouver as my home. I love it here, especially summertime. And then because it always rain, right? We say Vancouver here sometimes. Oh, we have someone from Langley. Yay, very close to me. So today I would like to share my YL journey, my Young Living journey with you all. And I hope it will give you some inspirations of what you can do to get to where you want to be, just like me. So how I started with Young Living. Okay, my best friend, Michelle Liu, I think she's here today to listen as well. And she is a diamond leader. And she introduced me to Young Living back in 2014, December. I totally remember it was around Christmas time. And that's like 8.5 years ago. Oh my God. Since then, I think Young Living just totally changed my world. I never imagined what Young Living would become such a big part in my life. I thank you so much for all the excitement that it brings me. And it all began when Michelle asked me to join her and a few other ladies. And I said, hey, we go for lunch around Christmas time. And at that lunch, and I met Gretchen King, who is a Royal Crown Diamond leader in Hong Kong. And Gretchen brought the starter kit and then some leaflets, and she started to talk about oils during lunch. You know, for myself, I always loved the sense of lavender or lemongrass, and especially because it just reminded me of just spa and relaxation and massage. I love massages. But I had no idea how these essential oils could help our overall wellness. And at the time, because of my trust in Michelle, I just bought the kit with no question asked. And then she told me, okay, how good these oils could help my family, especially with the respiratory system. So I started off with Algae oil. And a week later, Michelle told me, hey, Peggy, that's actually a business opportunity with Young Living. And she asked me out to, she said, okay, I want to explain to you how the compensation plan worked. So at the time, I had been a stay-home mom since I had my first child, and I had no business background. And my husband Ken and I got a little skeptical, honestly, at first, because I was once a victim from a very small MLM company where they sold some very meaningless products. Now I look back, right? So luckily I didn't lose a lot of money, but still it was not a good experience for me. And then Michelle told me, and you know what? The investment needed was like 100 PV a month. And then you can buy the products you want to try. And I said, okay, there might nothing to lose, I guess. And then meanwhile, I knew that Young Living just opened Hong Kong market for 1 year only. And the market was still very new. And there should be so much to explore. So I could, okay. But wait, I had no idea to do a business at all. I knew I was good with customer service. I like talking to people, but I didn't know where to start with Young Living as a business. And then Michelle told me, hey, sharing Young Living is just like sharing good restaurants or some good fun places you usually go with your friends. And then you always do that anyways. So just tell them about it. So I said, okay, I can do that. So I went home, I opened the box and I sniffed the oils and I Google a little bit and I look at the leaflet that I got from Gretchen. And then, okay, the next day I signed up my mom as my first member. Okay. So a few weeks later, it was like New Year's Eve. I invited my very good friend, this is my second member, Sylvia Lee, who moved moved from Hong Kong to Vancouver as well a couple of years ago. And I invited her and her family to my home, and we had a countdown party thing because it was New Year's Eve. So I told her about the oils, and then because I just bought the oils, I want to show her, hey, this is what I got. It's so colorful bottles. And even though I only tried Alcee at the time, but I knew that Sylvia's son, who also had some respiratory needs, and then I wanted to help her family. So I said, wait, why don't you try this? And she said, okay, because of the trust, I believe that she just bought the kit and she signed up. Sharing can be just as simple, right? And then she then also fell in love with the oils and she started to share as well. So since then, I had to say I just got addicted to Young Living. It's so funny. I just got very curious about how these oils work and what kind of a company Young Living was. So I attended almost every class I could find online hosted by our upline leaders, or I went to in person to some workshops that were available at the local office in Hong Kong, which was like just 15 minutes ride from my home. We were so lucky back then. So I invited my friends and my new members to come with me so we could learn together from all these different leaders that we can find. And to tell you the truth, I love questions from my members because it means that they are also curious and then they also want to learn. So remember, the key is you don't need to know everything, but you need to know where to find your answers and where to find all good testimonials. So I Googled and I learned about the oils and the products together with my members. And I continue to share whenever I had a chance to see my friends. I went to breakfast and lunch with some parents at my kids' school. And in the beginning, they all bought the kit from me because of the trust they had in me. And also because I know I'm patient and I listened and I genuinely care for them. Again, because Young Living is a people business, so we need to connect with people and then always build the trust and the relationship first. Okay, after all, of course, after we introduce Young Living to our new members, so product education plays a very important part. So we need to let them know where there are so many different products Young Living has to offer, right? How do we do that? In the beginning, I really want to share, I hosted a lot of Essential Oils 101 classes online and also in person in small groups. And I'm so grateful. Until now, I'm still grateful that we have really resourceful and generous upline leaders in Hong Kong. And I basically duplicated whatever my upline leaders did. And I utilized the resources from them, from Crossline and from corporate as well, because they have promotions and they have incentives every month. So we need to use them and then tell our members and our friends about all these good stuff we can get from them. All right, so going back to 2015, which was like only 2 or 3 months, I think, after I got my starter kit, Michelle, again, she told me, hey, let's go to the international convention in June together. I said, what? Wait a minute, that's like Salt Lake City in the United States. And I was in Hong Kong still, which is like 14 hours flight from Hong Kong. I don't think I wanted to spend so much money on the plane tickets and hotel. I just been with Young Living for a few months. And I didn't know what to expect from a convention. It's not like me. But then Michelle told me, hey, there's a lead to win contest, if you guys can remember, that going on now. And the top winners could go to convention for free. Oh, I love traveling and I love free stuff, right? So my husband, Ken, was telling me, okay, Peggy, if you could win this contest, that means you're serious about the business. Then sure, go. Because at that time, I always travel with Michelle's family. So with that bearing in mind, I set a goal and I wanted to travel for free. I worked very hard, like really hard to share. Then I discovered my strength. I liked doing DIY workshops a lot. And I created my Facebook page called Lessons Aromatherapy, although I don't really have a lot of followers even at this point, but I just like to share. It's a place where it's my happy place where I can share whatever I want about Young Living. So I started to host DIY workshops, like making bug repellents or lip balm and skincare products like facial wash, moisturizers, everything that I think is natural goodies to share with my friends. And I really enjoyed it so much. I want to show my members how we could be creative with the oils. And I also encouraged my team members to co-host workshops with me. And then you know who you are, who did so many workshops with me back then and even now. And later on, they could also host workshops on their own, right? So I started to make my own duplications, and I started to build a community that people can have fun together. And then I finally made silver in 4 months. And then I won the contest. I was so excited. I was so happy. And I'm so blessed that I got my family to support me. And I have to thank my husband, Ken, if he was listening. I don't know if he's listening or not, but thank you. Okay. So since then, I joined the conventions in Salt Lake City almost every year. Back then, it's international conventions, like members from Hong Kong, Asia can also join. And I also went to the Asia Pacific Convention, and I also joined the Canada one, which was in Vancouver a few years ago. When you're listening now, you have not done so, go grab your tickets to convention this year. And I guarantee you it's all worth it. It was so eye-opening. And you get to meet all these different people from everywhere, and then who share the same passion, even from different backgrounds. Say when you're lining up for a bathroom or getting into workshops, you line up, you could turn around and just try to make conversations with people lining up next to you. We all share our stories, and then they can be very interesting, and it would broaden your views. And convention workshop topics not only cover product educations, but also some business tips that you can get from different leaders and motivational speakers. And I love general session as well. This is one of the highlights because you can feel the energy from the big super crowd in the stadium. So since then, I traveled every year to conventions, and I like to make it like a retreat or like a girls' trip for me. And then in less than a year later, after I joined Young Living, I made gold rank in 2015 in November. And I'm still very grateful for everything my team did together with me. Okay, farms. Like, I love visiting farms. And in 2016, in February, I had a chance to join a group of people from Hong Kong and group of members and leaders from United States, and to my very first winter harvest in Idaho. And it was totally awesome. I felt like I was back to school again. And then it was camping. It was like camping. We stayed in a big room of bunk beds. And I said, I had to sleep on the lower bunk bed. I don't like to climb up, but yeah. Anyways, we woke up very early. I remember to go out in the cold and to experience different farm activities they had to offer for us. And we learned about distillation, testing, bottling of oils. And then there were product sharings and raindrop techniques learning. And I met some wonderful members and friend partners from the United States. And then later on, I just realized a lot of them, they all ranked up very quickly after this harvest experience. So this harvest and these conventions, they work magic on you. And at the time, we exchanged stories on our Young Living path. And I was so amazed by the fact that even though some families, I realized, they're homeschooling their kids, or they live in a remote farm in a very small town, which was very different from the lifestyle that I had in Hong Kong back then. But they can still share, and they could still do the Young Living business successfully. So I do encourage you guys to join one of the harvest if you have a chance. And there was one most unforgettable moment that we had. And we were so lucky that Gary Young was there with us during that harvest. And yeah, Michelle was there, Ada was there. And then I remember Gary showed me how to drive a monster truck. It was so exciting. I was like, what? You put me on and say, hey, try. So I was very impressed, and I could feel Gary's love and passion for the farm, and it's really something. Okay, moving on. My story goes, in 2018, summertime, my husband and I decided that it's time for our family to make a change, and we all moved back to Vancouver. At the time, and Rola Michelle, my best friend, also moved from Hong Kong to Vancouver in 2016. So she reminded me, okay, Peggy, you should really plan seriously to build a more solid foundation for your Young Living business before you move to Vancouver. Because, right, you wouldn't know what to expect to start a new life in a brand new environment. So true, right? So I said, okay, I decided, all right, I give it a try. I set a goal. I put 101% of effort in connecting with all my old and new customers. I worked out incentive plans together with my upline and with my teams, and I focused on building on my weaker legs. And finally, I was so grateful for my team that I made platinum in April 2018. I did it. And then our family moved, and we enjoyed our new home and a community. And changes can actually bring some good opportunities there, right? And thanks to YL, because that I could get through some hard times during COVID in the past couple of years, but I never stopped sharing. I still connected with my Hong Kong team regularly, and we hosted lots of online workshops together. And we had Zoom parties during Christmas. We always had a good excuse. And then Chinese New Year parties, we met online as well. And then I traveled back to Hong Kong last year once the world reopened, and to reconnect with my family and my team, because my parents and my siblings still there. And I really want to show my team that I'm always here for them, just like they're always here for me, even though we're not in the same cities. And I really miss you all, and I will be back again in August. But definitely there were always quiet moments, right? And I needed some fuel to reignite and push myself to, come back. So in January, earlier this year, 2023, which is just a few months ago, my very good Young Living partner in crime, Goretti Mack, and you're here listening from Vancouver, she asked me to go with her and our Toronto team to Fort Nelson for the Northern Lights Black Spruce Winter Harvest. I just thought that, okay, finally I got another excuse. I could travel again. And I got my very supporting husband who said, okay, if you want to go and experience. Maybe you get something new, something fun again. So we could do all Young Living all while together after we were stuck with COVID for so many years. So I'm grateful again for the trip, which was another turning point in my Young Living journey. And it totally ignited me and also the whole team to grow together. So farm experience was, of course, phenomenal again. I love it. The farm team was so nice, And then it's my first time seeing Northern Lights. It's so beautiful. And then I also got this really beautiful engraved tree stump as my souvenir. And thank you, farm staff. And I got my own bottle of Northern Lights black spruce that we witnessed all the distillation and testing, and we bottled it together. And there at the harvest, I met Carla the first time, and everyone was talking about Kona Challenge back then in January. I wasn't very sure because I don't know if I could do it. I have been quite quiet, honestly, reaching out to new members. And in the past year, but then I saw my teammates winning the Hawaiian trip a few years ago. I felt so happy for them, but I never thought of joining this Kona contest myself when it kick-started in January. And it's not until March, this winter harvest, I got super motivated. Meanwhile, since Goretti and I decided to join a public vendor event, which was about to happen a few weeks after the harvest, I took that opportunity to, to talk to Carla and to talk to leadership, to the Alexa, for some tips and support about hosting public vendor event. So remember, everyone, they are here for us. Okay, they're here to help us, and I thank them for that. And for vendor events, I've done quite a lot of events in the past year, but they were mostly just within my own community, Young Living community, like Christmas parties and Mother's Day events, Father's Day event, like that. Then personally, I love organizing parties for my friends, but a public vendor event would be something like would be the first, I would say. I got to do something more to make a change, I was telling myself. And it's time to explore the cold market. And then this market that we were about to go do is especially for Asians in Vancouver. So I invited Goretti to join me, and we spent 2 weeks planning every day for this event during Easter. We focused on showcasing starter kit bundles, starter kit oils, and these cleaning products, although we wanted to show everything, but we couldn't, right? So we focused on these two product lines, and then we put a lot of thoughts on the display. We rehearsed, and then it turned out that this event was super successful, I would say. We got some new signups, and we got friends who came to support, who wanted to say hello, but then at the end, they still bought some products home from me. So we were so excited to tell people how great Young Living products were, and we wanted to bring awareness to people about healthy living. And a lot of people actually haven't heard of Young Living before, believe it or not. And I really thank them for stopping by and listening to us, even they didn't buy anything from our table. I still want to share that with them. And then we did our second successful vendor event in early May. And then we are going to do another 2-day event in July, which will be actually the day right before we're about to fly off to Convention 2. So I encourage you all to step out of your comfort zone and try something new and challenge yourself. You will be surprised how rewarding it can get, and I'm very surprised too. And I'm very grateful for myself and my teammates. We are now on the top 3 Canadian leaderboard on Kona Challenge. We pushed and supported each other throughout the last 2 months. And I believe we will make our dreams come true, and we will travel to Kona together and celebrate, okay? And that's all I have to share with you guys. And I thank you so much for listening, and have a wonderful evening. Thank you.
Peggy, thank you so, so much. Yes, I am seeing this journey of yours and I am loving it, honestly. Really, thank you for being here with us today, sharing with us. And I mean, you're a great example of how you can have an international business and run it even from far away, right? And I know how grateful is your team for your leadership, no matter where you are. I've seen it, and I'm really I think you're a great example to follow. Thank you for sharing every step of the way and of this journey. And you know what? I also love that you shared how sometimes we have ups and downs, especially after these past tough years, right? But it took a sparkle of joy for you, this gathering with your team, this farm, which I also witnessed, and I'm so grateful for that, for reigniting all over again. You decided to go big for a new cold market and put yourself out there, and you're really nailing it. So I love that. And yes, the consequence is now you're going to Kona with your team. Yes, I mean, you're right
Yes,
now in top three, and I'm sure
I
you're
really
going
hope so.
to remain there. Yes, yes. So I'm so glad for that. And also, another thing that I love that you said is find your strength. Because when you find what you're best at, you enjoy it the most and just do it, right?
That's
And
right.
as you say, back in the time you were like all about the do it yourself and all of that. And now probably you're finding a new strength of yours. You're good at events. You're good at making events happen. You're good at getting new people involved and listening to you. As you said, probably at the beginning they don't buy or they don't, but you're
Yeah.
planting the seed. And I'm seeing how many enrollments you have right now and what you're doing and just pushing out of your comfort zone, just as you said. And oh my God, I think that's amazing. I mean,
Thanks.
I hope everyone took notes because I did have, and I just don't want to draw like go a lot more of time because we are almost about to say, but I love that you said like relationships first, trust as you trusted Michelle, utilize all your resources because there's everything here for all of you, right? Mostly education, just to say it's very important to be educated because you want to be product of the product. And even if you decide just to share for, just as you said, you want to share about everything, but focus is good.
That's right.
Focusing specifics that you're good and you're expert because you're using them, correct? And
Yes.
finally, attend events. I mean, I know how life-changing events could be. And well, conventions, like I think the mother of our events, it's about to come. So I hope and I wish everyone could be there. I know you're
Yes.
going and enjoying with your team, also amazing. And yes, farms, being a witness, real life of the seed to seal process. It also changed your life, right?
That's
And you
right.
see, we saw how the all the people in the farm put their heart on it. So you're like, yes, I'm talking about it. I'm showing the people, I'm showing the world that this is real, the seed to seal, right?
That's right.
So, and as you said, another
Thank you.
life-changing event is going to be Kona. And well, everyone here still have a month to participate in the challenge. So many things can happen in a month. Peggy
That's
said
right.
an example of that. So everyone keep sharing, keep hosting events, helping others do the same. And you know what? If you do that, points will be there. And I
That's
hope
right.
everyone here, right, Peggy, ends June with at least 10 amazing oils for free and many new people in your organization. And who knows, maybe a year supply of Ningxia or thieves or a trip to Hawaii, just as you, Peggy. So thank you so much for being here,
Thank
Peggy.
you.
I truly
Thank you.
appreciate you. And
Thank you.
thanks, everyone. I know everyone, your team is just so happy for you sharing with us today. And I know a lot of many people from different places. So thank you for being with us today, Peggy.
Thank you.
Have an
Okay.
awesome
Bye.
evening. Bye.
Bye bye.
Okay.